I'm John Schrott, and this is On the Spot. Today we're talking with Melanie Como Harris, who is one of our associates, and we're going to talk about something a little bit different than a lot of people might recognize, a task that the architect often does, but sometimes is forgotten that we can do. And that's really using our expertise to manage community meetings, public approval processes. And Melanie, I know that you are well versed at that. Why would you have the architect do that?
Well, as an architect, our primary job is to figure out what the end users are looking for in the project. And, usually with the architectural projects, it's within a building or what they want the building to look at. But the same holds true for a community in wanting to understand what the community wants out of a project. So while it's on a larger scale of development, it's still about user engagement. And given our experience with that and understanding how to ask the right questions, we're actually a perfect interface for the community. We want to make sure that we're hearing from the right people and also hearing everyone's voice. So, we take the same approach and methods that we use in our user engagement and bring them to the community engagements. So we might have an actual exercise that the folks that show up for the community meeting would be a part of in order to get good feedback that would then feed into how the design of a project would go and how we would approach the next step in the review process.
Well, how do you manage, because oftentimes when you gather this diverse community group together, you have somebody who really wants to be heard a lot, and some people who are more observant and just want to sit back. How do you pull those people out?
Yeah, I think it's having a several-pronged approach to collecting information. So usually there's a presentation component, and then there'll be a round of Q&A. And you're going to have those people, like you said, the ones that speak up easily, that are already formulating questions in their head. The folks that won't necessarily be comfortable speaking in that large format, it's good to have some sort of a written feedback loop as well. Whether it's a box that's, by the door with pre-made forms they can fill out and, keep them as simple as possible, but ask some key questions. People tend to be more honest when it's anonymous and it's, they drop it and run. And then there's also the idea of, we've often used what we call visual voting, where we have the various aspects of a design on large boards in the room and it's, just some sticky dots. And people can come up and put a dot on projects that they either like, aspects of the project they like, or things they don't like, without having to say much more about it. But it allows us to really focus in on what's working and what's not working at that scale.
Do you ever have an issue convincing the client that you are the right person to lead this exercise?
Yes, in the sense that the client wants to be the front face, and they're very eager to collect the information, or to get out this project that they're excited about. But so it can be like, well, they want to do the presentation, which is all well and good. But again, given our experience, if we can be there to even give them feedback on the presentation that they're giving in a way that makes what they're trying to say more easily heard by the community, it can be helpful. So in most circumstances, the owners do want us there, if for no other reason than to be able to field questions that get really into the weeds of a project that they might not know offhand.
So did your architectural education help to prepare you for this type of engagement with the community?
Well, certainly in the realm of being able to take criticism. Like you said, there are those people in the meetings that they have their own agenda and they'll let you know about it. So, you have to be prepared to take in those comments and ask questions back that allow that feedback to become constructive and useful. And I think the same thing happens, in architectural training and, again, working with the end users, is that they might say, well, I don't like that. But the more important thing is to find out why they didn't like that and get into the specifics of it so that we know what to change and what to keep. And of course, every project has a series of priorities and variables. And the community engagement is one variable in that. So it has to we have to figure out how to mix that all in. And I think, again, being able to confront that in a useful way is good.
Well, really fascinating. So thanks for being on the spot. Until next time.